Hey guys, what is going on? The rain has finally stopped. Saturday, I got a couple minutes to get out here and do some odds and ends. First thing I did was I got my passenger side seat, or whatever you want to call it, port side front seat. Got the base in here and figured out where I wanted to put like the riser block that everybody does. It's that thing there. Got that located roughly where I want. Just need to get that peanut buttered in and tabbed in. But one other thing that I wanted to do today, it's kind of a small thing, but oh wait, what? Huh? Is that an engine? That's an engine. I got the gantry hooked up, engine up in the air. Unfortunately, I had my camera set up on my ladder for like a time-lapse kind of thing, and hopped up there to turn it off after I was done getting it to this point, and no video. Awesome. So I don't have that clip, and there's zero chance I'm going to pull it back out just to get the shot. So I mean, it's pretty boring anyway. I just used a chain hoist. I'm going to do a quick video on actually that'll probably come out before this, but it's going to do a video on the gantry and how I build it. So just quick chain hoist, got it up and over, hooked up the boat to the car, backed it up underneath the boat, lowered it down, got the rear mounts installed, and then the front's just kind of hanging from the chains right now. And I got my wife in here to lower the chain hoist until the coupler was aligned with the gimbal bearing. It's not perfect, like the whole push it in with two fingers thing, but it's it starts to go in, so that's at least close enough to where I can make that final adjustment with the front mounts themselves. So that being said, let me show you what's going on here. So back here, I got the like I said, the motor's basically right where it needs to be. Let me turn my camera around so I can get a better shot. Alright guys, we're in kind of a cramped spot here, so you're getting a close-up whether you like it or not. So what I did is I got the, like I said, I got the engine on the rear mounts back here. If you can see that on that. The rear mounts are installed, tightened down. They're not super tight, but enough to draw it into alignment. And then, like I said, my wife lowered the front, and I used the alignment bar and the coupler to get it pretty much aligned. It's definitely not perfect, but it's in the ballpark. So I'm going to take my measurements from that for the front mounts. So what I did is I got it installed, and what I did is I put the top of the lower nut on the mount. It's just about 7/8 of an inch above the bottom of the thread. That seemed to kind of give me the best equilibrium in terms of up and down adjustment. So it looks like I can go basically the same amount down that I can go up and still have full thread on the nut. So that seems to be a good median point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Sharpie and kind of mark out each side on the hull an equal distance from the mount. Probably use the old mount as a reference for the total length. And then for the height, I'm going to take a tape measure down to the hull, basically directly down from the center line of the hole. And then I'll mark that. Actually, what I might do, yeah, I take that back. I'm going to take a pen and basically use the bottom surface of the mount as kind of a scribe surface, and that'll make a good height. It'll end up being a little bit lower because of the thickness of the pen is not necessarily where the center line is, but then once there's glass on top of the mount, that should bring it up pretty close to right. So that actually sounds like a good plan. That's probably what I'll do. So let me go grab a Sharpie, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do here. Be right back. Alright guys, now that this thing's up in the air, I could probably show you a little better what I did here for marking these out. So here's the mount, and basically what I did is, this was along the stringer. If you remember, it was in maybe an inch or so. So what I did is I took the Sharpie and literally just, let me see here, there we go, literally just laid it on there and drug it across the bottom and scribed with that. what that did, I don't really want to climb under this motor here for safety's sake, but so basically just transferred a line over the stringer there. And then I also, looking down from this direction, I eyeballed the center line of it and made a mark just for reference on where the mount needs to be relative to the location this way. So that's where I'm at, hoisting this thing back out, and gonna get back on the ground and start measuring for the actual mounts. Alright, so kind of skipping ahead here, I think, from the last video I showed you how I took measurements for the engine mounts. It's a little pretty much straightforward from there though. So I used the old mount, took the measurements on length and width, which happens to be for this boat 4 inches wide by about 12 inches long across the top surface. And then the height, I basically just took a piece of styrofoam and made up a template, which ends up being that shape there. Got it to fit in the hole nicely where I wanted it, so went with that. I gotta be honest, looking at this amount of wood here, just it doesn't seem like enough wood to hold up a V8 motor, but should be. So let me show you what I'm going to do here with these things. The old mounts were actually solid, like 2x material stacked up and cut, and I was planning on originally going back and doing the same thing, but I wasn't a huge fan of the lag bolt idea. I liked being able to have a through hole, that way if water gets into it, it kind of has a place to drain out the bottom as well. So what I did is I actually cut some of the MDO plywood I had. I'm basically, at this point in the build, I'm just trying to use up scraps. Obviously 1/2 inch wouldn't be ideal for this in terms of strength, but to be honest with you, more layers of ply is typically stronger than thicker ply that has less layers in it, if that makes any sense. So I mean, if you were to buy 3/4 inch ply, I know this is an inch, but 3/4 inch ply typically only has, like, at least ACX ply that you would use for a boat, typically only has 4 to 5 layers inside of it. This MDO has one thin, 1, 2, 3 thicker veneers and another thin, so it's a total of 5 layers plus the MDO skin. So 2 of these together is going to have 10 full layers of ply, which is good in terms of strength. Now I'm actually going to do a 3rd layer here just for some extra thickness. So this will total 1.5 inches in thickness, plus a little bit extra because there'll be PB in here, and I also have CSM on both sides. So this is going to be the basic structure of the mount for each side. So I have another set over here to make 2 of these. And what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to glue all these up with peanut butter. I'm also going to screw it together, just really only to act as a clamp. I'm not relying on that for strength, but going to put probably 4 screws through this to make this kind of top sandwich here that you see, and then probably same thing, 3 or 4 screws in each of these side pieces to clamp them together. And then I'll peanut butter this whole kind of assembly together. And for that, I don't know, I may put screws in the top on each side, maybe 2 on each side, maybe 1 down from the top, just to kind of suck everything together. And then once that's set up, or close to set up, I'll come in and fillet these inside corners here. And then I'm going to take a piece of 1708 tabbing to run along this inside surface. Oops. And everything else, I'm going to wait until it's in the boat to put the 1708 on. Well, I may do 1 layer up over the top like this as well while it's out of the boat, just because it's always easier to do as much as you can out of the boat versus in, but there's only so much you can do before you have to start tabbing this, and it gets pretty messy. So that's what I came up with for a mount structure. That way I'll be able to put through bolts here for the front mounts on the motor. I ordered some stainless hardware for that with nylock nuts and all that kind of stuff. So let me go get all the stuff I need to glue these up, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, mounts are set up and glued, screwed together as well. And then I came back with the belt sander and rounded off all the edges that are going to get 1708 tabbing. So let me show you here, so you can kind of see which side's going to go up against the hole. And these outsides got round over for the 1708. Yeah, so I'm going to actually, let me cut out a piece and then I'll show you what I'm going to do here. Hold on. Alright, there we go. So I got these 1708 pieces cut that'll go around the inside and around the outside, just like that. I may do one more short piece on the inside of here and another piece around the outside on the top, just to give this a lot of stiffness in its thickness. And then it'll be ready for tabbing into the boat. So let me get that done and we'll pick up from there.
Bye.